Have you ever stepped into a crowded room, the buzz of voices swirling around you, only to feel an overwhelming urge to turn around and leave? It's not just discomfort, it's a feeling of being out of place, like you're somehow disconnected, even when surrounded by familiar faces. It's a feeling many of us experience. We're told that people are inherently social creatures, that human connection is vital, and that our happiness depends on interacting with others. So why is it that sometimes being around people feels more draining than uplifting? The truth is, it's not just about not liking people. There are deeper reasons at play, reasons that are tied to your personality, your past experiences, and your individual needs. Let's explore 5 of these reasons, not to justify your feelings, but to understand them more clearly. Number 1, you're naturally introverted. For you, time alone isn't a sign of loneliness. It's a sanctuary. The quiet allows your mind to wander freely, to think deeply, and to reconnect with your true self. When you're alone, you feel grounded, rejuvenated, and at peace. Introverts tend to crave quality over quantity in social interactions. While the world rushes towards surface-level chats, you yearn for meaningful, in-depth conversations that can touch on more profound topics. But here's the problem. Most social gatherings revolve around small talk. And let's face it, small talk can feel like an energy drain, especially when your mind is trying to explore deeper conversations. And of course, there's the societal pressure. Society loves extroverts, the loud, outgoing, and charismatic ones. When you're not the life of the party, people might start to question whether something's wrong with you. But the truth is, you simply value solitude over endless social interaction. It's not a retreat from people. It's a retreat to your inner world, where you find peace. Number 2, you've been hurt before. Trust issues. If you've been betrayed before, whether by a close friend, a partner, or even family, building trust again can feel like an uphill battle. Once trust is broken, it's hard to let your guard down. Trust isn't about paranoia, it's about protecting yourself. After a betrayal, every new relationship feels like a gamble. You wonder if this person will be the one to hurt you again. And when you do decide to open up, the vulnerability feels like stepping into a minefield of potential pain. It's not that you don't want to connect, far from it, but after a painful experience, the risk of being let down again can make the idea of socializing feel overwhelming. You learn to pick up on subtle signs, the way someone avoids eye contact or speaks in a tone that doesn't feel right. These small clues become a mental checklist that helps you gauge how much of yourself you're willing to share. Rebuilding trust takes time, but it's possible. It's about small steps, one genuine conversation at a time, finding people who prove themselves worthy of your trust. Until then, it's okay to keep some distance. Protecting yourself is not a sign of weakness. It's self-preservation. Number 3, you're surrounded by the wrong people. Not all social interactions are equal, and sometimes it's not about avoiding people altogether. It's about avoiding the wrong people, the energy vampires, the constant complainers, or those who seem to drain every ounce of positivity you have. You've probably encountered them, the ones who talk endlessly about themselves without ever considering your feelings, or the ones who mask insults as compliments, leaving you questioning their true intentions. Spending time with these people doesn't feel like socializing. It feels like an emotional transaction where you're giving far more than you're receiving. And then there are those who simply don't respect your preferences. Maybe it's a friend who insists on going to loud bars when you'd rather enjoy a quiet coffee. or a colleague who pushes you to join a party when you'd prefer a night in. Their intentions might be good, but their disregard for your needs leads to frustration. Over time, these experiences make socializing feel more like a burden than a joy. It's not that you don't like people, it's that you don't like being around people who don't understand you, who don't align with your values, or who leave you feeling drained. Number 4, you struggle with low self-esteem sometimes. Your reluctance to be around people isn't about them at all. It's about how you feel about yourself. When you don't feel worthy or interesting enough, every social interaction feels like a stage performance where you're just waiting for someone to notice your flaws. Self-doubt is a powerful force. You replay conversations in your mind, analyzing every word, every awkward pause, wondering if you said something wrong. You worry that people are judging you, even when they might not be. This spirals into a negative feedback loop where your insecurities become the lens through which you view every interaction. This self-criticism can make socializing feel impossible. The idea of engaging with others feels like stepping into a spotlight, unprepared and exposed. But here's the thing. This story you tell yourself isn't true. It's just a narrative created by your mind. Breaking free from it starts with recognizing that the world is far more accepting than you believe. With time, patience, and a shift in mindset, you can break free from the cycle of self-doubt and start to re-engage with others without the fear of judgment. Number 5, you struggle with social anxiety. Social anxiety isn't just shyness, it's a constant mental battle where every interaction feels like a potential disaster. You might find yourself invited to a gathering with friendly people and a casual atmosphere, but as soon as you walk in, the fear sets in. What if you say the wrong thing? What if you don't say anything at all? What if they notice how awkward you are? These thoughts are just the beginning. By the time you arrive, you're already mentally exhausted from the scenarios your mind has conjured up. Social anxiety makes even the simplest interactions feel like monumental challenges. You become hyper-aware of your body language, your tone, even the way you hold your drink. And when it's all over, instead of feeling relieved, you replay every moment, analyzing everything you could have done differently. It's not that you don't want to connect with others, you do, but the fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, or simply not measuring up, makes it difficult to bear. Social anxiety often stems from past experiences of rejection or ridicule, and these memories become triggers, resurfacing at the slightest hint of discomfort. The good news, social anxiety can be managed. It starts with small steps, challenging your fears, practicing self-compassion, and seeking support. The world isn't as harsh as it seems, and with time you can build resilience and start to feel more comfortable in social situations. At the heart of all these reasons is one truth. Your discomfort around people isn't just a simple aversion. It's a mix of past experiences, personality traits, and personal needs that shape how you engage with the world. Solitude isn't inherently bad. In fact, it's often in solitude that we find our creativity, clarity, and inner peace. The key is balance, finding the courage to step into the world while honoring your need for quiet moments. So the next time someone questions why you prefer solitude, remember, it's not about avoiding people. It's about honoring yourself. In a world that constantly demands your attention, choosing solitude is a quiet act of rebellion worth celebrating. Think about whether this channel is worthy of getting your love and support. If it is, don't hesitate. We will meet in the next video. Until then, keep evolving.